And joining me now is Dr. Luz Towns-Miranda, a psychologist. You've been doing a lot of work helping victims of Maria here in New York City. And I just want to get your reaction to this news, the government revising the official death toll from 64 all the way up near 3,000 now.
Which may still be an undercount, because I wasn't surprised at all. I lost an aunt in the aftermath, because what wasn't being counted were the people who couldn't get medical care or who required electrical supports. My aunt was in a nursing home and she passed in October. She couldn't survive very much because the generator kept going out. They couldn't get enough supply. So it was no surprise to me at all. I'm surprised it's not even more.
Yeah, some people, when they think, deaths from a hurricane, they might think of, a physical storm thing like a tree, but there's so many, side issues where losing power, how you lost your aunt, or others, that an impact from the storm that causes more deaths.
Right. The recent survey described how the doctors in Puerto Rico were not trained to assess the death in a forensic manner, so that's why there was such an undercount for such a long period of time.
President Trump said today the government has done a, quote, fantastic job in Puerto Rico. What do you think about the U.S. government's response there?
Well, I think the U.S. government's response was flawed from the beginning, and even the governor now is saying that he's not perfect. There were a lot of mistakes made throughout the time since the hurricane hit to the present, because there still needs a lot of support, and what Puerto Rico got was a fraction of what the states got, even though it's an island and nothing can come here from a mainland source.
And so I want to talk about the work you've been doing. We think of hurricanes and it causes this massive physical damage to structures and homes down there, but there's also a huge mental toll that it takes on people that are in the storm zone. We saw in Jessica's piece there, the family was having trouble. What are the kind of things that you're seeing that families are impacted by?
Well, the families that have come here have described how their children have difficulty separating from them, are fearful when it starts to rain, when the winds blow. They've struggled to stabilize in housing. Housing is a big issue. Stabilizing in a school, accessing consistent medical services. The instability and the constant appointments to many agencies once the center in East Harlem broke down is putting a real severe stress on families.
And children specifically, is it harder for children being uprooted like that?
Children thrive on structure and routine. The bottom fell out for children, as well as for adults, and the struggle to get children in a regular routine has continued to date. There are children who wish they wouldn't wake up the next day because the pain of the uncertainty of, do I stay here, do I go back to home, I'm in a shelter, where are we going to end up? There's just continues to be tremendous uncertainties for these families and the children.
And for people that watch and see this, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary and they want to help. What can people do?
Well, there is a website called Boricua Remembers where people are being asked to access it to see about events and ways of helping people still struggling from the hurricane. And the Hispanic Federation is looking at initiating some mental health projects on the island, because there's been a spike in suicides during the course of the year, and there's no end in sight. In June, the moratorium on foreclosures ended, so people who lost everything but still have land or still have mortgages on these ruins are likely to lose everything.
All right. Dr. Luz Towns-Miranda, thanks so much for being here. It's such an important story. Appreciate you keeping us up to date.
You're welcome.
Thank you.